The Gilded Age, an HBO series about wealthy upper-class families in 1882 New York, was so popular with viewers that it was renewed for a second season when it was only halfway through its first. Here's everything we know about the highly anticipated second season of The Gilded Age. There aren't necessarily any new shows that deal with the desire to fit in with New York society. Inventing Anna and Gossip Girl are two excellent, albeit young, examples of that. But rubbing elbows with Manhattan's elite while strolling down Fifth Avenue is one thing, experiencing the extravagant lifestyle of wealthy families in 1882 New York is quite another. That's probably the reason HBO Max's The Gilded Age, which was only halfway through its first season of broadcasting, already received approval from HBO and Universal Television for a second season. The series, which has been renewed in February 2022, was created by Downton Abbey showrunner Julian Fellowes and is established in 1880s America during the Gilded Age, a time in history when the nation experienced enormous economic growth. The first season of the television show, which debuted in January 2022, follows Marian Brook as she moves from rural Pennsylvania to glamorous New York City to live with her wealthy aunts after the passing of her father. As Marian gets used to living in New York City, she finds herself torn between the modern world and the old money traditions of her family, which her aunts are well versed in. Thankfully, even though the Gilded Age is coming to an end for the time being, there will undoubtedly be a more stage drama set in the luxurious mansions of Newport, Rhode Island, and New York City. Here's everything we currently know about how Season 2 of The Gilded Age will continue the lifestyles of the Russells, Marian Brook, and Peggy Scott, as well as their friends and rivals. So we're very excited and can't wait to share with you some mind-blowing theories that will keep you thinking about Season 2 for days. Before the show was formally renewed, the creators of The Gilded Age began to consider what would happen to these characters after the current season.
Mr. Rakes, don't tell me that is why you made the journey.
Not entirely.
Sally Richardson Whitfield, the director, also revealed to the publication that she has many hopes and dreams for fresh plot lines and concepts for the second season. The Gilded Age second season began filming in May 2022, but it was faced with controversy over working conditions for some of the animals featured in the show. HBO made a statement in August saying, "Safety is the top priority for HBO's productions, and we'll continue to maintain our high standards and rules above to ensure the well-being of all animals, crew members, and actors." Since we're aware that filming is in the works, let's find out what we know about the plot of The Gilded Age's second season. As the first season finale of Gilded Age approached, a significant plot about George Russell's legal issues following a train accident was wrapped up. The main question in the first season finale of The Gilded Age is whether Mrs. Astor will go to Glady's Russell's debutante ball, giving Bertha access to the high society she so desperately wants. Whether Marian will elope with Mr. Rakes is a significant plot point that needs to be resolved. Season 2 of The Gilded Age will continue those stories where they left off, but Julian Fellowes is also likely to introduce a number of new characters while combining more historical events and figures from the late 19th century period, like the famous black newspaper editor T. Thomas Fortune. There's a good chance that the Russell status in society will once more be in jeopardy, and Mr. Russell will keep working to fulfill his dream of an electrically powered train line. Before we go any further, we wanted to let you know that it's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. The dramatic conclusion provided the second season to explore Marian's brand new love story. She already appears to be focused on Larry, the heir to the Russell family, which will probably frustrate her aunts. Peggy, a friend of hers, also experienced back-to-back revelations this season. She revealed her secret that she had been married before and had given birth to a stillborn child. Peggy uncovered another secret during the ending: her son is still alive, and she wants him to come back. Season 2 might focus on Peggy's efforts to find her long-lost child. Fellowes will continue to mix historical figures with his fictional characters, just as he did in Season 1. Educator Booker T. Washington will make a guest appearance in Season 2, which might help and bring closer together Peggy Scott and her editor T. Thomas Fortune, who would travel to meet him for an assignment. Fans will just have to sit tight and see how the Russells settle their new social status, since George and Bertha both now have a foothold in Manhattan's elite, though it may be a precarious one.
Are we headed in the right direction?
We don't have a choice in the matter, Mr. McAllister. We must go where history takes us.
Now let's see who are the returning cast members and the exciting new additions. The Gilded Age features a fantastic ensemble cast led by Marian Brook, played by Louisa Jacobson, Meryl Streep's daughter. Agnes van Rhijn, Marian's obstinate aristocratic aunt, is portrayed by Christine Baranski, and Ada Brook, Agnes' sister, is portrayed by Cynthia Nixon. Carrie Coon, who starred in The Leftovers and Sinner, portrays Bertha Russell, Agnes and Ada's neighbor, who has gained vast amounts of wealth thanks to her financially clever husband. George, played by Morgan Spector, is a ruthless businessman. Danae Benton, a Tony-nominated Broadway actress and performer, plays Peggy Scott, a young and ambitious writer who moves to New York with Marian. As they begin this new chapter of their lives in New York, both women are looking for a fresh start. However, Peggy has a secret that will eventually be revealed, causing a dramatic change in her world. Blake Ritson, Thaisa Farmiga, and Jean Triplehorn are also featured in the cast. The casting directors have hinted that more Broadway stars will continue to play new roles. One of the casting directors, Adam Caldwell, told Variety, "It's still a part of the recipe of what we think works because of the talent and the experience. It can keep expanding. We might get a little bit more of a glimpse into the Black elite world. Historical figures pop up too, and it's fun to jump in and play around in the sandbox with everyone."
Mrs. Astor wouldn't mind. You could tell her I was here with Mrs. Fane.
Additionally, 2 more Tony Award winners will join the cast of HBO's The Gilded Age for Season 2. Laura Benanti's Susan Blaine, a very beautiful and glamorous woman living in Newport, who recently became the widow of a wealthy dull man. Susan hires Larry as her architect to complete a major renovation on her Newport home, and Robert Sean Leonard as Reverend Matthew Ford, who's the new rector of the church that is attended by the most elite members of New York society. He's a cheerful, likable man who recently moved there from Boston. There will be even more new characters in Season 2, and we can't wait to meet them, so let's find out when will be the potential release date. Although we're aware that The Gilded Age will return for a second season, we unfortunately don't really know when. The first season took 10 years to produce and was originally planned to be developed with NBC before HBO took over. It was one of those things, survive and adapt, executive producer David Crockett explained. However, one source of optimism is that filming for Season 2 has begun. This might imply that viewers won't have to wait for very long at all for 19th century New York to return to their small screens.
Here's $100, on one condition.
What?
That everything on the stall is delivered to my house on 5th Avenue within the hour.
Nobody knows for sure when Season 2 will be released, but following a year of filming, Season 1 debuted in January 2022, therefore it's likely that Season 2 won't come out before spring 2023 at least. Briefly put, you need to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. Season 2 writers are busy creating no matter when it arrives on our screens, and because Fellows originally started working on the second season before it had been officially renewed, fans can hope that they won't have to wait as long for the next installment. See you in the next video.